Not sure what that was. Okay. So I'm going to use the traditional for loop. And if my explanation didn't make any sense, just copy paste it and take it for truth. Just like replace the 5 with however many you want, and then that will work. Auto format. So let's start with 5 enemies. Actually, really quick, before I do that, let me go ahead and press console.log step, just to show you guys that this is indeed running 5 times. So if I refresh, there you go. You can see it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Why is it? I must have another console log somewhere. Not sure where. I think it was when creating. No. Oh, there we go. Yeah, when we added them to the screen. Okay. All right, groovy. So, okay, let's see. Oops. So yeah, now that we know that it is iterating, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, do that. Why do I feel like, did that paste twice? Was that just me? I don't know. Maybe I already pasted it, then I repasted it. So we got this funky formatting thing. We just do that. We're good to go. Okay. Okay, so here, this is kind of a trick. So rather than doing like enemy 1, what we're going to have to do is say the content we're going to put in here is enemy plus. So, oh, and then also instead of step, it's pretty general to use I. I. Just, it's like I stands, I think it stands for like iterator. I think that's why people use eyes a lot. You'll see eyes, and that's the usual thing. Let's see if I bet they have one with an eye somewhere here. There we go. A do while with eyes. And there's a for loop. There we go, with eyes as well. Okay. Let's see, enemy. So yeah, so rather than being like enemy 1 all the time, it's going to be enemy I, which is going to be enemy 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go ahead and do that. So, and then here for their Y position, just to set this up initially, I'm actually going to use I. Yeah, I can use the value I and maybe times 30. There we go. So we're going to get like 5 enemies. They all kind of do that because they stack up. Oh, this will be fun. Oh, you know what? No, I meant to do their. Sorry, my bad. I meant to put them lower. So X, 5 enemies on the screen. They're all following the same like AI behavior. That's why they're all moving together like that. So just to kind of show too, if we want more, we can do like 10. Okay, yeah. There we go. So now there's 10 enemies and they're all coming at me like that. And let's see, to make things a little bit more interesting. So one thing I want to do as well. Okay, so we're first off. Okay, let's place them at random values. So to do that, to get a random value in JavaScript, it's actually very simple. There's this library called it's the math object. So we're going to do math, and we're going to do .random. And so math.random will give you a random value between 0 and 1. So that's what you can see here. It's like a whole bunch of random stuff. So all you have to do to like make a random number, any random number between like anything and anything, you just multiply it. Like let's say you want something between 0 and 10. You just multiply that by 10. So math.random times 10. Now it's a random number between 0 and 10. Now let's say you want a random number between like 10 and 20. So all you do is just add 10. So we have, now this will give us some random number between 10 and 20. So that's kind of how you can mess with random numbers, is you you can always multiply it, and then like first you add a constant and then multiply it by some number, and that will give you like that will shift it over and grow it your random range. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do y is 400 plus math dot random times 400. I don't know. So there we go. We already got our zombie horde and random locations. And then also, actually, that X does not look bad. I kind of like that idea. Might just leave it like that. That looks tight. Now we'll do it anyway. So for the yeah. We'll just do math.random times. So it's kind of like rather than using I, we use math.random. And we'll do here times 300. Yeah, so we got our random zombie horde. Nice. I guess technically zombies is just a huge game of tag where all the people tagging you just are very slow. Didn't really think of it that way. I guess we're making a zombies game. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Okay. So now we have, yeah, we've got our enemies. They start at random locations. And let's go ahead and do something interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and give them all random speeds. So I'll have like, let's see. Maybe I can give them all random speeds for each direction they walk. So they all have a kind of like a um, different speeds at which they go. So I can be like, let's see, ups, speed up. I'll just go ahead and write these all down real quick. So speed up, speed down, speed left, and speed right. And we'll just, for now, we'll just use all random numbers. So we'll literally just use a random number between 0 and 1. So just math.random. So let's go ahead and just like put a whole bunch of random. There we go. Do a little code format because that ain't working. And then, so now rather than moving the zombies at the speed they're currently moving, which is hard coded to 1, we'll use their actual speed value. So here we're going to say enemy x plus equals enemy's ID dot speed right. Okay. Speed left. Speed down, because y is inverted. It's pretty common. And speed up. Okay. Now we got our zombie horde. Oh my gosh, that one got me. Pretty simple. All right, I have a boundary. Let's get rid of those boundaries. Removed. Yeah, removed for now. So we're just gonna remove those boundaries for now, just so that we can kind of walk around. So like now we'll be able to go off the screen, but oh well. Oh, that's funny. The screen is scrolling because this is a when you go off screen, now you can like scroll over there. It's like watch, I'll show what I mean. There we go. So we can kind of scroll around and look. We can change that pretty simply. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that right now. I think we can do HTML. We'll try this. Overflow hidden. Let's see if that might just fix it just there. Let's go ahead and try it. Yep. So now when we go off the screen, so the idea is that like if anything overflows off the screen, rather than trying to show it, we just say like, hey, just anything that's off the screen, just hide. So yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad. We got interesting zombie kind of behaviors. Kind of wish I like now I'm like wanting to press spacebar to like use a sword or something. I don't know. Maybe we could try. I don't know. Or you like use the mouse to like shoot. Oh, I'm toast. Yeah, so the funny thing is on mobile, you probably won't even see the zombies at all. Oh, okay, you do. So yeah, I don't have like mobile friendliness. This game's just gonna be tiny on mobile. That's fine. We're not like focusing on mobile friendliness quite yet. Might do that later. Maybe, maybe not. Mainly just focusing on learning like the fundamentals of JavaScript. Maybe I can do like a mobile friendly thing, like when the global game jam's done with. Can I make it out? Yeah, got it. It's kind of funny because like you're like, oh that zombie's really slow, but then you like try to go a different direction and then it's like super duper fast. That's funny. Okay. Cool. Well, now you know what? Let's just add like now. So to show you guys like what I meant, like we can do like as many as we want. I'm literally gonna just do like 100. See what happens. Yeah, so there's our zombie horde of 100 zombies. I don't think there's if there were okay. I don't think I'm like somewhere way up on the screen right now. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah. So I wonder if we could make a game where you have to like you have to just kill every zombie. I wonder if that could be doable. And now we have 50 zombs. Oh, interesting. They got the wiggles. That's because they're like adjusting. We could probably fix that. But we don't really care too much. Just the premise is that the game works. Oh, like that's like if you can't see, like they're kind of jittering a little bit. And that is because um their values are like when it was one, it all worked out perfectly. Like when the left and right movement were equal, it was fine. But now like it might move right a little bit, but then be like, oh, I gotta move left, but its left speed might be faster than its right speed. So that's why we see that wiggling. If they were both exactly equal, it would be it wouldn't happen. And you know there is a way we can fix that. Um, you know maybe I'll just I don't know. I gotta eat eventually. um, let's see. Actually, I wonder if it wouldn't be too bad to be. Let's see, enemy X plus. So that's the horizontal movement. So I wonder if we can prevent the horizontal movement if. Let's think about that logic. I'm just like now. I'm just thinking about like logically. I don't think now. I'm thinking my idea won't necessarily work. Let's see. Basically, what I was thinking, like, okay, only move up if sorry, only move left and right if the y is greater than a certain amount. I guess we can give it a shot. If just see what happens. So to get a distance, one thing you can do is take the absolute value. So the absolute value of something in math is just, it always makes it positive. And to do that, it's math dot abs. So like for instance of negative 12 is 12 and the math dot abs of 12 is also 12. So I think let's try this. If math dot absolute value of we'll take the y distance. Not sure what's going to happen here. So we take the players, so the players y minus ry is how far they are apart vertically. That's their vertical offset with each other. Um, let's see. Not sure if this is going to fix it or not. Let's start with the X jitter actually. So the horizontal player dot X. Lost my dot. Player dot X. Yeah. And then let's move you. Oh, I'm getting that thing again where it's doing weirdness. Oh boy. Oh, interesting. It like sees double. Yeah, something's definitely up. Okay, there we go. Well, we're back. I guess as long as I click that format. Yeah, that's rough. I don't like that. Okay, anyway. Oh my gosh, I didn't do a comparison. If if the absolute value is greater than, like, let's like 5. I don't know. Okay, still jitters. That was worth a shot. Wait a minute. Did I do that right? Oops. Oh my gosh, I thought you had to do X for Y. I think X has to be for X. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Wait a minute. So if I, yeah, still jittery. All right. I don't know if that was. I don't think that. Okay, okay, okay. I don't know. I'm sure there's some logic you could do to figure that out. I'm just not like thinking. I'm focusing on just learning JavaScript right now. I'm not really thinking about that logic. But it is kind of, not gonna lie, it's kind of bugging me. It's greater than 5. Oh, actually, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Whoa. So confusing to like when it like, crazy indents on me. Let's see. Okay, I think I meant to do this one. Maybe that was the problem there. Of course, the thing is the copy pasting is bonkers. Interesting. Oh, does that work? Oh, that might have done it. Oh, okay. Well, who would have known? Yeah, that fixes it. Okay, then. We've got our fix. Cool. I guess that does actually kind of make sense. See, that copy pasted twice. Yeah. Something's going on. Something's fishy. Okay, cool. So let's just go ahead and copy paste this. Dot, dot Y. Yeah. Something's fishy. Like whenever I click a button, it's like clicking it twice. So something is up with this Chromium code editor. I don't think very many people use this code editor because like the normal thing is to use. That's interesting. They kind of stop moving. Wait, why did they stop? A little bit lost there. Not sure why they're just stopping. I don't. That doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I feel like it's always not a good idea to try new things while teaching, because then you get caught up in you get caught up in stuff that doesn't work. But you know that's coding, right? It's like a lot of times things don't work. Um, so you know it's still good to see. Yeah, my enemy AI. If player Y, so if basically if the distance, if the vertical distance is greater than 5, move. Which it definitely is greater than 5. I don't know why they just decided to stop. Hmm. Something tells me something's up. Player.y. It's almost as if like these are X's still. That right there. You know, I want to take a quick look, see if that is actually getting updated. No, notepad's fine. Oh, I was right. Those are staying as X. That's very annoying. Wow. Okay, I don't. We might have to transition to our own text editor, which will be fine. Um, only downside is we're not using the same text editor. Like, I'm not going to be using the same text editor as you guys unless you use Atom. Weird. Control Shift I. Game. Yeah, I have a feeling that some. It's like the thing that is kind of having problems has to do is the same thing that's causing that double indent. I think I might just use Chrome, just plain Chrome. Like I have nothing against using Chrome. Let's try it. Close my extension. Sources. Okay. File system, add folder to workspace. That one. Allow game. Let's try this. No, same thing. Yeah, something fishy's going on with that, but at least we don't have. We should know now. We should not have the jitteries, which we don't. That's a good thing. Nice. I don't think I can make it through there. I have to go around. Nice. Yeah, very cool. Well, we have a zombies game. This is using loops. So that is kind of the power of using loops right there, is that you can do things for an arbitrary number of objects. And you know, we could just keep going. I think I'm gonna. Oh, I thought I was gonna die right there. Okay, yep, I just made it. Nice. No, I don't think I can make it anymore. Yeah, I'm toast. All right, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and save this as a checkpoint. Probably I will also probably use my own code editor. Just seeing that something quirky is happening here. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah. Okay, I also want to mention that I did push to the repository, so the latest versions are all up there in the beginner game dev um, GitHub repo. You can find everything from version 1 to version 6 as we progress up and do more advanced features of JavaScript. I think in the very beginning we just had like an if statement, pretty much. Yeah. We didn't have any containers, no objects yet. We just had plain variables. So this is called like procedural programming, whereas like using objects is called more like object-oriented programming, which we're still actually not technically doing yet. But I don't think I'm gonna get into any object-oriented programming for this whole series, just because I think that the it's pretty straightforward to do once you get comfortable with JavaScript. I don't really feel like I need to go over it with you. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. See how things flow. We'll just, for now, we're just taking things, we're just jamming, taking things one at a time. And I think the next thing I wanted to do was projectiles, so let's get into it. Let's go back to our code. Oh, I also said Chromium was bugging out the editor. So I think I'm gonna have to use my own text editor, which is kind of a bummer because I was really liking the text editor here, and it just started kind of letting me down a little bit. I don't know. Maybe after sitting for a while, it is feeling better. That shouldn't be a thing, but nope, not feeling better. We eject. So, okay, I don't think I have addm installed yet on this. Let's see. Yeah, I need to install addm. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm also gonna just hop back on Chromium because, like, why not? You know what I mean? Kind of liked it. It's just like Chrome. Just seems a little simpler. Okay, so addm text editor. So I'm gonna, oops, addm terminal. I meant addm text. Let's go ahead and install this puppy. Another thing I like about addm too is that it's like pretty lightweight. Pretty quick to install. Wonder if I should use a different text editor though. I don't know. I think addm's still pretty beginner friendly. Use addm URI handler. Would you like to use addm as the addm? See, I never really understood this thing. I can answer that later. Okay, so we just installed addm. So I'll go ahead, file, open folder. Actually, I think I can do like add project folder. Yeah, I like that a little better. Actually, you know what? Sorry, I changed my mind. Open folder. Desktop. So for if you're a beginner and you're not sure what a text editor is, this is like pretty much just like any text editor like such as Notepad. So I feel like Notepad to me is like the most generic text editor. It's just for editing characters. And these text editors are the same thing. Like addm, for instance, there's also Notepad++. That's a really common one, Notepad++. So this is Notepad++. You can see it. So it looks just like Notepad, but the only difference really is that it has something called syntax highlighting. And syntax highlighting is when like certain keywords in certain languages, like programming languages, actually like they have a color. So that makes it more clear for you as a programmer. And sometimes they also have like auto completion. So like it kind of predicts what you're gonna say and it just like completes it for you. All very nice features, but because Chromium was unfortunately being a little buggy, um, I just installed Atom. So now we should have Atom. No, maybe I have to do a new. Yeah. So now we have the Atom command. So yeah, it's cool. When you install Atom, it also gives you the Atom command line command. I think we can also see where it installed. Yeah, so it just installed on my local user. Makes sense because this is not my admin user on my computer. So it didn't go to like C programs. It went to C jump toast app data. So that makes sense. That checks out. So let's see. We're gonna go back to our game. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So another thing is that Atom uses two spaces to indent. So you know what? I'm gonna see if I can configure Atom to just temporarily, not to just use the ordinary. Let's see. Yeah, it does. Yeah, two indents. So okay. Normally, I personally like two space tabs instead of four space tabs. That's just me. Um, but I'm gonna see just for the sake of consistency. Atom set up four space preferences. Okay, Atom preferences editor file. New settings. Yeah. Settings, editor settings. Oh, editor. Auto indent. Yeah, definitely want that. Let's see this. Line height. Scroll sensitivity. Tab length. Here we go. We'll just do 4 for now. Just to keep things consistent. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Normally I don't like that, but like I said, just trying to keep things consistent with what it was before. Hopefully there won't be like style issues with the post 0.6 versions and or in like pre 0.6 and after the version 6. We'll see. So the thing I said we were going to do was projectiles. And I also decided to use my own text editor, so we just did that. Super easy. Again, that's just you just install a text editor and then open up the file that you're currently editing. And then in the browser, we're just not going to use the in-browser text editor. That's what it's going to have to be. So, overall, it's not too bad. I don't think it's too hard on like beginners to do that. Okay. So now we open up the, let's see. Can I do this? File? Yeah, so it kind of remembered where it was. And this is, I wonder if I did this. I don't think it would work. Oh, cool. It shows my file system. Nice. So we want that and this. Very good. All right. So last we left off, we just made a bunch of zombies, which is kind of fun. Another thing I want to do, I think this would be a cool little mechanic, is so to prevent the jitterness, let's see, we made it so that they only move if they're a certain distance away. But I think what I want to do is configure this distance so that all the zombies kind of behave a little bit differently. I think that might be interesting. Maybe. Maybe not. Could be dumb. Let's see. Offset X. Let's do. So there needs to be like some starting amount. So we'll just say like 1 because of that math.random. Like that will prevent the jitter, just that 1. And then plus math.random times, let's do 10. Same thing for offset Y. And then rather than just using that hard-coded value of 5, we will use the enemies of ID. I think here offset Y. And then the same thing for X. We'll use offset X. So this will make a little bit, I think something like a little bit more different. Let's see. So they should all kind of have their own stopping point. Yeah, as you can see, they're all kind of coming in at different, they have their own offsets. So I guess it makes it look a little bit more realistic. I don't know why this is kind of like funny. There's just a bunch of like little zombies coming at you very slowly. Can I make it through? Yeah, so I guess I just kind of made it through the fast zombies and then the slow zombies. Now this is like between the slow zombies and super slow zombies. And there is a like zombie that's almost nothing in terms of his speed. This is funny. It's kind of like Pac-Man without the walls. You know, maybe what would be cool is like if you place, maybe if you press like spacebar, it places something, and then you press spacebar again, it does like a explosion type thing. We can call this like uh a combination of like Minesweeper and zombies. I don't know. Zombie sweeper. I don't know. Well, you know, that's the thing like about games is that like as you're making them, you can kind of like switch up the mechanics, be like, oh wait a minute, this is actually way cooler, and then you end up with some new mechanics like as you're developing. Ah, I died. Okay, then I get eaten apparently. Okay. Oh, you know another thing too. This has the dark theme, and I feel like for just streaming purposes, it's a little bit easier for you guys to see if it's light themed. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and change the theme here. So if you like by default, if you install Atom, it comes with the dark theme by default, but we can change that by going to I think settings, themes, yeah. So let's go ahead and do. I'll just change both to one light. There we go. Just a little bit easier to look at, I think. More like the browser we were using before. Um, okay, very cool. So okay, so what was the next thing? Right, the projectiles. And, you know, just because I said we were going to do them, we should do them. Like maybe not do the explosion thing, although that would be fun. We can do both. Yeah, why not? Okay, so for the sake of these explosions, maybe what we can do is we can shoot the projectile in the direction the last direction you walked is going to be the direction that the projectile is going to fire. Um, you know, is that the cleanest mechanic? No, but um, yeah, I don't know what's easier. Or maybe I could do like ASWD. You shoot your little pistol. Maybe I'll do it that way. So the arrows you move, and then with AS or the the other ASW and D, you shoot the projectiles. Not the world's most friendly mechanics there, but or the most friendly controls, but we're not going for user friendliness. We're just going for learning. So to start off, I will start with um I'll just start with the just one direction, maybe S, like downwards. Okay. So we want to do it on the like for unlike the movement, when we're actually doing the firing, like if we're firing projectiles, like if your player, you know, shoots projectiles from themselves, you actually do want to do that on the on key down um, listener, like that function. Unlike movement, where you don't want that stuttering. When you have projectiles, you actually want that. Like you want the like I press and I do one. So all our projectile code we're going to do in here, at least for the like initial like firing of a projectile. Um, Also, I got a call real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick reply. Okay. Go back to the chat manager. Very cool. All right. So, okay, so let's at least just, I think at least let's get the key code for the key we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to console log key, just so I can know. So control I. Okay, so now we're not going to be using this file system anymore. Yeah. Instead, we'll just use the console. So I'll just have the console over there. And this is like my normal development flow for browser stuff. Is you just usually have a text editor, and then you save, switch tabs, refresh. You know, and you're just kind of going back and forth between your text editor and the browser. And when you start doing more like advanced stuff, you can actually set up a it's called hot reload. I'm not going to do that right now, just because you don't need it. But if you're going to be coding a lot, like every day for a career, it's nice to have when you do a change, it automatically refreshes the browser. Yeah, that's not something we're going to do right now. But and that's like web development specific. Right now, we're just using the browser as our game engine. That's pretty much all. And our game engine, not for like an amazing game. It's more just for learning purposes. Because there's a lot to learn. We're doing a lot of code, like this code stuff, like this logic and like logic and data structures and just syntax of coding in general. So there's a lot of good stuff to just learn without necessarily making a killer game. Let's see. Okay, just looking around. Okay, right. So we want to. Okay, it's just S. So if key equals S, so I'll log fire. So yeah, there we go. So now, right now, if you press S, we're just going to focus on shooting something downward. There we go. We have our little fire thing. So we're going to like add this stuff one step at a time. So the first step is let's put something on the screen. So let's see. I also like to have a little bit of spacing there. Just me being picky. I feel like we can get rid of those. Don't really have a menu either. Stitch those. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so the first thing we're obviously going to need is a container for our projectiles. So let's do that. It's kind of a long name. Bullets. I like bullets a little shorter. So we're making zombies. That's what this kind of turned into. Let's see. Just going to do a little search for the word enemies. Bring a notification. I'm going to turn that down a little bit so that it's not so loud on the stream. All right. That's fine. I was going to rename that zombies, but whatever. Okay. So we have the container for the bullets, and then we need to add a bullet. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make a function to do that. I'll just put it... Where should I put it? I guess I'll just put it right here. Doesn't hurt, right? So define a function called addBullet. We'll just start with an X and Y position. Basically do the same exact logic as the enemy stuff here. So we'll just copy paste that. Let's make the width and height like much smaller for our little bullet guy. It's just gonna be 5 pixels by 5. X will go to X, like that. Y is gonna go to Y. And our bullet, all our bullets will have the name Dr. Evil. Now that I think about it, every single enemy. So if I look at all the enemies in the enemy's object, there they all are, just so you can see them. There's all their X and Y positions at the time I checked. So these are not being updated live. Whereas I feel like in like Unity they would. But to get the live versions, I can just do that again, and these are going to be completely new versions or completely new values. Um, yeah, but I think they all have the name Doctor Evil. I can't even remember why we put names. I think that was just for fun. But at this point, we don't even really need a name. It's not really necessary. um, maybe their name could just be, you know, yeah, we can just get rid of it for now. No need. All right. Okay, so bullet. We'll just add let's see, a bullet plus I. Okay, so this is another interesting thing. So everything in that, every key inside the object needs to be unique. So for something like this, when you have like an infinite number of them constantly being added, we need to like here rather than like in this case we had I, and I was bounded from 0 to 50, but and that's never going to change. Um, so we have like 50 enemies total. I'll just go ahead and put a note for that. Load enemies. Or I guess it's more like add. We're not really loading. Okay. Or I guess these are also, it's not adding it either. It's just set up. Okay. Great, so we're here. Okay, so, and then also that should be, I'll just put this under. I like to put things that I did later on farther down. Don't know if that's the right way to do it, but oops. We'll copy paste that. Right, so instead of, we don't have anything I, so what we're going to do is we need a bullet counter. So this will keep track, this will keep track of all the bullets, but what it's really for is so that every bullet will have a unique name. So we're going to name it bullet plus bullet counter. So it'll be like bullet 0, bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3. And then it won't, and everything will work normally. They can't have the same name. So we're going to use bullet plus bullet counter, and then once we're done with that, the next line down, we're going to say bullet counter plus plus. So we're going to increase that so that the next bullet that loads will have the right name. It'll be like 0, 1, 2. And we'll see that. I'll show you guys that in a bit. But let's go ahead and copy this. That. Also add bullet. We'll change the class name to that. Still a game object. So in our CSS too, let's go ahead and reflect that. And let's make the bullets like gray. Gray and 5 by 5 is I think what I made them. So everything's a little bit hard coded right now, but that's okay. Yeah, 5 by 5. And then here we actually also want to append it to the document right away. That's another thing we want to do. Just document append. That. That's the element we want to grab. There we go. So rather than calling it there, I will just... Actually, you know what? I don't need to test it there. But sure, just for the sake of it, let's try it. addBullet at 10, 10. Okay, my bad. 10, 10. Oops. Cannot read properties undefined of elem. Did I mess up? What line is this? Okay, so actually on this, so whenever there's an error, you can, right there it says the line it occurred on, so let's go ahead and click it. So it says that that does not exist. Oh my gosh, yeah. I increased the bullet counter. So it was bullet 0. I increased bullet counter. Now this is already doing um this is looking for bullet 1. So that was a mistake on my part. My bad. Technically probably could have just done that here. So our bullet is actually going to start at bullet 1. I could either do it there or I could do it at the very end. Either way, doesn't matter. Um yeah, I like there. Or you know what? No. Change my mind. I'll just do it at the very end. Okay, let's try again. My bad on that one. There's our little tiny bullet. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, so we should have a speed. Oh, that's funny. I already have the speed. Offset, offset. That's actually not bad. Actually, no, we don't need that. Okay. We do need v like velocity and in both directions, so we can be like speed x and speed y, because we, depending on what direction we are shooting, we want them to move in that direction. Actually, you know what? For now, that's a little bit too complicated. Let's just make them always move down just to start. Okay. Um. Okay. So what we can do here? So we tested that, so that works. So we can say addBullet at player.x and player.y. That didn't quite work. Why did that not work? It seems like it added a 10-10 pretty consistently. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm not updating. Oops. I got kind of carried away. I forgot that, so we have to actually update. Yeah, my bad. Right here. Let's try that now. Okay, that's better. Cool. Let's see. And I think we also want to hmm. Do all that? Oh, they do all start in the corner. Okay. A little bit buggy. Like you can kind of see there's like a flash that it's in the corner for like a split second. I mean, to fix that, we'd have to, let's just go ahead and do it now. Um, but yeah, it would be, we'd have to call this every single time you add the bullet right away. Like, you literally call it that moment. So let's just do that just for the sake of it looking a little cleaner. So here are bullets of ID. The ID is that. So there we go. So now it doesn't have that, like, I don't know if you guys could see it before, but up in the corner, uh, it would like start there and then go really fast. That's because um, on like it has to wait for the next tick of the update loop. Okay, getting somewhere. So notice how also the bullets start in the top corner of the player. We can make it go to the center of the player by adding a little bit of an offset. Um, let's see. Or maybe the player can be like left-handed. Or I don't know. Is that right-handed? I don't know. Maybe we should just make it from the corner. Well, no. Just for the sake of learning, let's actually do it right. X is X plus player dot W divided by 2. And the same thing for the Y. So that is half the player's size. And technically, we also need to add or remove a little bit extra because of the bullet's width as well. But here's an interesting thing: is that the bullet doesn't actually know where that is yet. So because it hasn't been created, so we're gonna have to do that down here. So you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and just do that down there. Yeah, let's just define X and Y entirely down there. I think I like that better. Okay. Right. Player.x or player.width. Oh, you know what? Oh, okay, my bad. Let's just not do let's just do this logic somewhere else. Okay, this is funny. Okay, sorry. Let's keep this just like that. And let's actually put this logic here. So addBullet player x plus player.width divided by 2. And we know the width of the bullet is 5. So we can say like 2.5. Yeah. Or minus 2.5. That will center it. Plus pair.height. There we go. So that should put it exactly in the center of the player. That's what we want. Cool. So I got a little bullet stream. Kind of looks like reverse of Pac-Man. I don't know. Kind of feel that. Kind of liking this already, actually. The theme of the game jam is like it's like duality. So maybe it could be like, oh, this is like the duality of Pac-Man. Like you put down like the little pieces. I don't even know what those things are in Pac-Man that Pac-Man eats. I've never really thought about it. Oh, that guy's fast when he goes up. Oh, I think I'm toast. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Ah. Okay. Anyway, now let's actually make them move. So let's see. Pretty straightforward. So here for bullets, okay, we have the render update. Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, basic enemy AI, user-based movement. Okay, fine. We'll just do this. We'll dedicate this bottom part just to rendering, and then we'll also do another loop somewhere else for the movement. So bullets of ID dot y plus equals, let's just say 5 at first. Yeah. So there we go. So we're not testing for collisions between the zombies yet. But we have motion. And who knows, maybe we could just keep it this way. Like you can only shoot downward. No, we can make it so that they move in the other directions. Okay. So now we need to check. So this is collisions. Okay, cool. So we need to check. So here, this is when things get a little bit more programmy now, like programmy. So we have, let's see, I'll open up my note or paint. Yeah, that's fine. I like paint.net a little better than paint. Make this a little bigger. Let's see. Maybe I'll try like a height of 900. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we have multiple bullets, so I'll make them tiny. Well, we'll start with like, okay, actually no, yeah, we'll do it this way. So we know for testing collisions, we know we're gonna like let's start with 3 bullets. So let's say there's 3 bullets on the screen, and hypothetically there's 2 zombies. So we're gonna have to check every single possible case. So like this is bullet 0, 1, 2, and this is enemy 0, 1. So we're gonna have to check like that collision, that collision. Basically for each bullet, like you kind of say it verbally too. Like for each bullet, we need to check if that bullet hits each enemy. So it's kind of like you kind of see it's like for each of those, for each of those. So you're already kind of getting a hint that we're gonna have to do 2 for loops. So the first one, like basically we need to iterate over each bullet and check it colliding with each enemy. So it's gonna look like something like I think and we already have a loop for each enemy. Yeah, for let ID in enemies. Then we need to or we could do it the other way around. So for each enemy, we can check is it hitting any of these bullets. That's another way to do it. Oops. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is the way we're going to do it. Before I had it backwards, we're going to do the other way. Logically, it's the same exact thing. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so for each enemy I, now we're going to do for let bullet ID in bullets. Let's see. Okay, so now we need to check. So for bullet ID, I'll just shorten it to BID. BID. Bullet ID. Okay. So let's see. If now we're going to check the collision. So if the checkbox collision between enemy of ID, and rather than player here, we actually want bullets of bullet ID or BID. Bullets of bullet ID. So if the bullet of bullet ID collides with enemy of ID, then let's remove let's delete the enemy. Remove them. So that's going to be so in order to remove an enemy, we're going to need to do 2 things. We're going to have to delete the enemy from the enemy's object, and then we're also going to have to remove it from the screen. Or maybe it might be cool if we just leave it on the screen actually, because he's like just on the ground. Let's do that. Yeah, and because once he's out of the object, it's not gonna do anything because it's no longer there, so it's not gonna update the DOM. It's just gonna revert to its old primitive state as a HTML element that just sits in the DOM doing nothing really exciting. So yeah, it should work out actually. That's actually smooth. So delete enemies of ID. That's it. So that's how you delete something from an object. And when you delete a value or like a key, one of the keys in the object, it just removes it entirely. So it's just as if it's not there anymore. And I think logically this should check out. Like if we delete that enemy's ID, I think it should be fine. I'm a little worried it might skip over. And just to be totally sure, just in case it would, Like, so what I'm kind of concerned about is if this skips over that enemy. Um, and what we can do to avoid that is actually something pretty straightforward. Rather than deleting him right there, let's just go ahead and do this, just for safety. I don't know if this actually is a concern or not, but just while we're iterating, let's not remove them. Let's just say dot remove equals true. So I'm just gonna like, and this concept is called a flag. So we're gonna like, let's just go ahead and say like, hey, I think I need to like, I should be removed. Like, so um at some point in the future it can be removed, and in the future that's right here. So we can do another loop, or better yet, maybe here. It's always good to use other loops. Um, so let's do this. Yeah, this is okay. All right, you know what? I keep saying that. Like, it's weird. There's always this trade-off between like keeping your code efficient and then also keeping it readable. And generally, readable stuff is a little bit less efficient than um, stuff, or yeah, it's than efficient stuff. That's another kind of topic. But for now, let's just use the same. Let's just use another loop. So a lot of loops. I guess that's a theme here. So let's go ahead and re-loop through our enemies. Oh, but then we're going to run into the same thing. I think it actually, I think it might be okay entirely. Because if we deleted it, it's just gone. I think it should be fine. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Sorry about that. I take that back. We won't do that. Let's just delete it outright. Should be fine. Because if you delete it, the next ID should be the next one. All right. Okay. Oh, the bullet just takes them all out at once. Like in a line. Like, that's funny. Didn't think about that. Probably should have done just like one. Oh, and then also, I think once you've eliminated one of them. Uh-huh. Yeah, so we did run into an issue. I had a feeling. See right there, that's an issue. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so there was actually a problem there. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. How do we resolve this? I do want to remove it from the enemies. I know that for a fact. Interesting. So for some reason, let's go this player enemy, and this is bullet to enemy. Just put some comments for now. Let's think about this. Yeah, I mean, we are getting these errors. It doesn't affect the game, really. It looks like it's just warnings. But it's good to not have those. Yeah. And it's also even worse to have things that are like intermittent. Let's see. I don't know how reproducible that is. Maybe that was, I don't know why that we got that before. Oh, see, it's when you shoot multiple bullets. Okay. Interesting. Trying to figure that out. Using checkbox collision. Yeah, rectangle 2, which would be enemy. So it's obviously something with the fact that the enemy is gone. Right. Okay. So the enemy is gone. Um, so we can do this. And honestly, we don't want those bullet. I know. Okay, I have a solution. Um, well, you know what, let's just do it. So okay, so I will say when this happens, you're probably supposed to delete that bullet as well. I think that might fix it. Kind of a funny little bug. That's actually kind of funny. It like sticks wherever it got hit. Like ah, that's actually a cool effect. I kind of like that. Yeah. So I think that that would technically fix it. Um, because it's not having to iterate again. Oh no, I did. I take that back. It's actually funny. Yeah, I can't shoot upwards right now. Ah, okay. Huh. This is see, this is the kind of stuff you like encounter all the time as a programmer. It's like, why is this happening? Um, oh, you know what? I think you need to do this. So break is a special word. It's another keyword. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in our notes. So that's another yet another keyword. Break. Oops, didn't mean to use those. Just spaces is fine. So exit like break like literally. So break means you break out of a loop. Out of a loop. Oh, and we also have for the for keyword. This is a for loop. So yeah, so basically the break statement, just break. It's just a statement. Allows you to exit a loop. So I think that's the problem there. Is that that bullet? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So now it's fine. That makes sense actually. So basically, the idea is that that bullet was no longer inside the bullet's object, but it was still checking. Or I think, sorry, my bad. The enemy's object was no longer in the enemy's, but it was still being checked because of that. Because we're still looping over the enemies. And this is, you know, if that doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it. That's not the most important part. The important thing is that um, you at least understand loops. Like these are what we're working on right now is like a very niche. Oh, I have a notification. Oh, I died. So what we're doing right now is like a very small corner case that you know obviously affects the performance of our game. So we need to be concerned about it, but we just need to fix it. So in this case, we fixed it just by the break allows it to no longer check. It basically breaks out of this whole loop. So then the idea is that it just moves on to the next enemy. If you follow what I mean. Like break, which is it breaks out of this loop. Oh, and breaks out of the loop. It doesn't necessarily break, like you can't break from an if statement. That's another thing. Yeah, there's a lot to programming. Let's see. Break out of a break. So rephrase this. Break out of the nearest loop. Star. That's important. Nearest loop. Okay. All right. I'm using like this is actually kind of cool. I like that the bullet just like sticks in them like ah. This is funny. Okay. And let's go ahead and okay, so right here. So now let's change things up. Rather than always moving them by 5, let's actually set a speed when you add a bullet. So add bullet. Yeah, okay, we can get rid of the fire thing because we know that works. And let's throw in a... So V stands for velocity. So I'm going to add a Vx and a Vy. So that's basically, this is our X position, our Y position, our X velocity, and our Y velocity. So that's what we're going to do there. So I'll just go ahead and say Vx is Vx. And also, here's another tip. In JavaScript, there is a if the like see here, if the name of the thing you're assigning to the value has the same variable name as the key in the object, like if these two things are the same, you can just do this. That's just I forgot what that's called. I think it's called object notation. But that is a feature of JavaScript that if those two things match, it just saves you a little bit of writing. So I'll use that syntax here, and then I'll use the old school syntax there. You used to not be able to do that. That's a new thing. Oh, what's up? What's up, Techie911? How's it going? I'm not sure if you're still there. I just saw this chat. Sorry if I missed it from earlier. Doing a little bit of game jamming. Nice, you're still there. Okay, cool. Yeah, see, okay, so that means that my stream manager right now says I have one viewer. Um and I've always thought that one viewer is just me. So I guess I always have like one bot just like lurking me or something. I don't know. Um yeah, so if you didn't know Techie911, it is the right now is the global game jam. Global game jam. So it's like a worldwide event where game developers from all over the world uh, build games together. And oh, got around to the office, no problem. Good luck. But yeah, hey, check out the Global Game Jam if you have time. Peace. um, yeah, okay. So we back in action. So let's see, what do we want to do? Anyway, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Let's see. I know I got all excited. One of my viewers came by. Super cool. Okay, right. Right, we have the VX and VY. So, okay, so this will be pretty simple. So, okay, so the first thing we'll do is here we go. So now bullet y plus, rather than moving by 5, we'll move by the bullet's velocity y, and same thing for the Vx. Or x plus. So it'll actually move at whatever Vx and Vy are set to, rather than just that hard-coded 5. So now we can actually do things in different directions. So that's nice. Well, almost nice. Hang on. Okay, that's going to get a little bit cumbersome to write. So let me just go ahead and save that to a variable. Bullet x, maybe. Why? Okay. And then, okay, so if S is down, so we have the bullet X, bullet Y. You know, I could just use X and Y. That's okay. Cool. So S would be down, so we need VY to be 5. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this too. I think I'll do it up here. So this is kind of just like this is just like a common practice. If something is a constant, it's just standard to do it all uppercase like that, upper bullet speed. But you know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that might change. So hey, but you know that that's just a standard. Whenever anything's constant, you just make it all caps. Um, Whenever it is just normal, you can, or like just any type of variable, you can always do a you do just traditional camel case. So I changed my mind. I'll just do bullet speed because who knows? Maybe we'll want to change the speed like later in the game if you know whatever. Who knows? Good to keep things flexible. So let's do 5 again. Okay. So just something configurable there. So there we go. So now let's try again. It should be the same behavior as before. Very nice. I guess that's one way to do it. It's so funny. There's like a history of how that zombie was shot. Okay. Now we're dead. Then we get eaten. Maybe I should put a little text box that says like, now you're getting eaten. Yum 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 yum. I don't know. Okay. Getting carried away. So now we can just do, let's do the other directions. If key is down, W. We'll go negative bullet speed, so we'll go the other direction. So that should shoot up. Nice. And then, of course, the other two directions, D and A. Just copy paste that. A lot of copy pasting. Like that's kind of nice. Like once you get in the groove, you can just kind of copy paste yourself for other things. So D should be right. That's correct. Positive, and then the S should be negative. There we go. Oops, not S. That's actually kind of cool though. It's like holding like the cowboy style, right? No, we definitely meant A. Okay. Ooh. You know, I kind of want the player to be on top of the zombies. That's actually a very easy fix. Right there. All we have to do is put the player after the zombies. There we go. Kind of like the idea that you can like walk over the dead ones. Just do a couple of these. I'll run down here so that they have a Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll just cap them all. I don't usually do shooter games, so they're just very like shooter games are very easy to learn on. That's kind of why I would do it as a shooter game. Now we can see. Okay, so the bullets still stay below you. I mean, we do have a fix for that. Let's see. Yeah, we could even for the bullets we could even prepend them to the screen. So like you can see, let's take a look at them on the DOM actually. So we're gonna have a ton of stuff. Yeah, a lot of objects here. Oh, some of those bullets are still moving. Forgot to remove those. We should probably remove like when the bullets go a certain distance, we should destroy them. That's funny. Forgot about that. But yeah, those are just going off into space because they never hit a zombie. But yeah, we can see those are all the game object enemy, 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 and then all the bullets are on top. So, there's like that's just a nuance. I know, like, so there's one fix that it's called z index. So you can set the z at index of the things, HTML z index. Yeah, so the z index CSS property sets the z order of a positioned element, like relative to other ones. Yeah. So that's kind of the quick, like either you could actually sort the objects, like you could sort the DOM, and like by default the Z order kind of just like falls on whatever, like let's try to find this bullet for instance, just that one right there. So what I could do is I could move it behind the player, and then there you go. Now the player is on top. So if I could reorganize it in the actual DOM, or I could just set the Z index. That might be easier. So what we could do, yeah, this actually would be pretty simple. So Z index, so I already knew. So we could just set the Z indexes of bullets to 1, or let's say 2. And then for enemies, we could set their Z index to 1, and then for the player, we could set that to 3. So now the player is always on top of the bullets and the enemy. And so the bullets are on top of the enemy, and the player is on top of the bullets and the enemy. So let's take a look. Just capping all these zombies. I feel like in my first video I was like, you're not going to remake Call of Duty, but I don't know. You know what I mean? This might be Call of Duty level. Okay. Yeah, see. Okay, now we're on top of everything. So, honestly, uh yeah, it doesn't really, I guess that whole thing I did with the swapping the player with like the adding to the screen and the zombies adding to the screen, I guess I didn't really need to do that. So technically, we can just put this back. It doesn't really hurt. Another thing is too so I will say on browsers, you do like whenever you use a feature, it's always smart to check. You can like if you scroll to the bottom of Mozilla, developer Mozilla, it says the browser compatibility. And I will say these days, most features are almost completely compatible on all browsers, so you almost never need to worry about it these days. That used to not be the case, but now it's getting more and more better, mo beta. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's see. Good to have. All these zombies. So funny. I don't know why. I don't really care for shooter games all too much. I'm a big Rocket League fan. Uh just feel like shooter games are a little repetitive. Okay. Well, there's that. Yeah, and so I could also make this responsive so it works on like all devices because like I said, I guess yeah, right now we're using the keyboard, so this game's not going to work on phone, unfortunately. So people will just see it and not be able to do anything. Uh, Techie 911, like kind of sort of. There's a lot of game engines out there where um yes, you do need tons and tons of code, but you don't like it's not like tons and tons and tons of code. Like I think anything you do, like right now what this little zombies game I have is just like 240 lines of code, not insane. Um, but those game engines, they provide a lot of infrastructure for you. Like like for instance, right here where I'm checking collisions like via like I'm checking collisions like myself, I'm literally checking like I think I have a picture right here. So like if these are the bullets and those are the zombies, I literally have to check every single zombie. I have to make sure, hey, are you colliding with this bullet? Yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And game engines, they do that a lot more efficiently. Like they have built-in things. So there's a lot of built-in stuff in game engines, but all of the graphics and animations, you tend to have to do on your own. But like there are a ton of resources for getting, like some like you can even just grab like you can like you can make a 3D game and just grab assets from all over the internet and not even do any art. It's kind of funny. Like you can kind of get away with not doing a lot of things. But yeah, there's still a ton. Depends on the complexity of the game. Yeah, one of the most popular ones is Unity. Um, Unity 3D. I don't know if I need to say that. Yeah. So yeah, Unity is pretty much like the main game engine for a lot of indie games. I think growing more in the space of like those AAA games. I think right now there. I don't know if bigger people are using Unity yet. Um, but definitely huge in the indie community. That is for sure. I think Unity is like the main way people make games these days. Could be totally wrong. Um, yeah, they're doing quite a bit of stuff. They even try to like branch out of games, automotive, transportation, film. Interesting. So looks like this game, like, Among Us. Yeah, that's. I've never played Among Us, but it really blew up in the height of COVID-19. Oh my gosh, I have a few zombie stragglers. Good thing. Cap, 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 cap. All right, all right, cool. So I think at this point is another good point to checkpoint ourselves. Um, I think kind of at like, oh, you know what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me do a checkpoint. Let me put another note. Oh my gosh, yes, thank you for telling me. Ah, got me. um, let's see. Right, so I want to make a copy of you. Okay, I think I can just do that here. And rename you. Rename. Where's rename? Rename. And you will be 07 zombies bullets. So now now we have bullets. Well, technically projectiles. Whatever. Mm, that's fine. We have zombies. Zombies game with bullets. Zombies bullets. Okay, so let's do that one little fix for the bullets. Yeah, actually, we can do it after. Why not? So this is move. Delete if we need to. So if, let's see. Yeah, okay. So math.abs of bullet x. So I'll just kind of like knock it out with all that. I can actually just knock it out with like if it's, yeah, this should work. So basically, if the absolute value of x or y just exceeds like some super huge number is greater than 999,999. So if it's just way off in the distance, or is that or is that not far enough? You know, yeah, I don't think that's actually far enough. Well, those are the enemies. Okay, yeah. You know what? We can just do like the screen's not going to be any larger than like 1,000, so like we can just say what is that? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's do like I don't know, 5,000. I don't think any screen's going to be larger than that. Would it be a humongous screen? Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. You know, and just for testing, let's go ahead and do a 2,000. Uh, so now we're using ID. We're not using BID. So let's just copy this anyway. Bullets of ID. Let's go ahead and break. Just oh wait, we don't want to break. We want to keep going through the bullets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. That should do it. So let's see those guys. So we're looking at these bullets here. Those should yeah. So the bullets got deleted, but the DOM objects are still sitting out there. So let's go ahead and also delete those. Let's delete the DOM object first. Bullets of ID lm. Oh, we never learned how to remove elements from the screen. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So it's actually pretty straightforward. I think you have to go to the parent and just delete it from the parent. Let's see. HTML delete element. I don't think that's right. Running out of juice on this phone. So I got the oh, I'm running out of juice on both. Much 18%. Okay, I'll just charge up my phone a little bit. Yeah, that's the charger. There we go. Sorry, y'all. Just grabbing up my charger. Okay. Let's plug her in here. Cool. Okay. So yeah, I don't know is unscopable. I don't know what that means. I've always thought you had to go to the parent and then delete from the like you go like the parent is the by the way, yeah, I have to mention that too. So the parent element is the element that contains that child. So try to remove element. Oops. Oh, that's I feel like this is something another thing I learned. You just can call remove. Removes the element from the tree it belongs to. I'll be damned. Cool. Well, that's even easier. Dot remove. So another way we can test, let's just test that on the screen locally. We can just be like, oh, we should see it, like 400. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, it worked. We can see it get removed. If we, yeah. So now, there are other ways of doing that. But, that's funny. Okay. Well, we obviously want that to be much larger, but we do know that it works. Like 5,000 is fine. Okay, so those bullets that fly off the screen, we don't have to worry about them. They'll get deleted eventually. Can I do like all? Yeah, I can do all four at once if I kind of like put my fingers weird. I feel like we're experiencing a little bit of lag. All those bullets. Cool. Well, and there we have it. So we got our very basic zombies game. And I think that pretty much is. Oh, right. We still have that ending screen we want to throw in there. Um, let's see. Okay. So I think another thing too, I'm going to put the bullet updates right here. I think that just makes sense. Oh, maybe not. It kind of puts the bullets. I actually almost like it after because it delayed it a little bit. See how the bullets are all kind of like dangling off the enemy? I think I liked it before when it was like inside. You know what? Yeah, that's funny. There you go. See, there's another perfect example of something that was like I wouldn't have known it would have. Right, because I have to check test the collision. Like you have to remember that this function, this update function, it's being called once every 60 seconds. So just because this code is below the collisions, it just means that collisions is actually going to be called later on. Like it doesn't like it's gonna or it's gonna be called on the next tick if you see what I mean. Like it's gonna come back around and get called. Kind of a mind twister there. Let's see. Oh yeah. So what were we trying to do? I mean we could do like resource like a like have ammo. It's not too hard to mess up. Trying to think like let's see. The player boundary. I forgot about that. You can still keep it removed. It's fine. Yeah, I feel like things are looking pretty good. Um, just trying to figure out what else we would need. You know, one thing I could do just for funsies. When you die, I could set your z index to 0. So to access those elements, or sorry, the CSS from JavaScript, it's through that style. I think we did that from before. But one other thing that's good to note is that everything's accessible from the style variable, except everything is in camel case. So ZIndex in CSS has I forgot what that's called. Like when it's like hyphen separated. I don't know. Um, but in JavaScript, you do the same thing except you do it in camel case. So that's kind of just a fact of that. Style dot. I kind of lost it. Oh, here, I can just press Control Z. There we go. So player.lm.style.z index equals 0. So I'll just put them on the bottom so at least all the zombies can kind of like go on top of them and just, oh, crowd around and eat. Nice. Another thing we could do for fun is I think no, that actually it'll look bad. I was gonna say we could do circles as the hitboxes, but I just realized um that wouldn't the hit boxes wouldn't match it. Like right now we're using squares to detect collisions, and the um yeah, and the shape of them is also square, so it all checks out. But just for the heck of it, and we can just do this. It's like border radius, and you can do 50%. So that'll make it perfect. Everyone's a circle now, but you can see, it doesn't look terrible. Maybe we'll keep it. Yeah, see, that one was a little bit off. You're like, oh, that bullet's not quite right.